going to show you the finished product of a dog going around something. Tova, come here. Get in. Go around. Good girl. And from the other direction. Come here. Come back. Go around, go around, go around. She's, go. Okay, come. She thinks it's tri-ball, so she's stopping at that side. However, going around is the exercise. When you're going to start teaching a dog to go around a pole in front of you, you need a dog that's willing to move around, and you have it somewhere near you. You have a clicker, you have treats. When the dog happens to get further than 50% across in front of you, you click and you toss the treat ahead of the dog so they go beyond the 50%. Then you arrange it. The dog is on this side, and when the dog happens to get its nose more than 50% past your front, you mark that and treat to cause the dog to go all the way. These pens were only to show you where 50% is. I don't use pens or anything to mark the halfway point when I'm training a dog. I just visualize it. These, to mark the halfway point, are not necessary. Once the dog is easily coming up here and crossing over, you mark that and you feed behind your knee. You may need to lead the dog at first after you click. Then the dog will charge around and get the treat. Again, when the dog is easily crossing here, going up to here to get the treat, you begin, instead of feeding here, you begin feeding behind your knee. So your dog goes up here fairly easily. You'll see this with Bailey later. Goes up fairly easily. You mark that, and instead of putting the treat there, you now put the treat behind your knee. So the dog is getting familiar with going around. Now let's add the pole, or something for the dog to go around. You should have worked in many different locations by now, so the dog is quite comfortable going back and forth in front of you. Now you introduce the pole between your feet. The dog's running around here. You arrange it by moving so that the dog crosses the halfway point. You click and you feed behind your knee so the dog goes around and gets the treat. You don't tell your dog to get on the side because he doesn't know that yet. The dog is on this side. You can turn to make him on that side if he's not there. You happen to catch the dog 50%, 52% beyond. You mark that and you feed behind your knee, and the dog is very familiar with what that means, so they go around. You do this in many different locations, and gradually you're moving back, and the dog is going around. Slowly, slowly you move back. Dog happens to go more than 50%, you mark and you feed behind your knee. Slowly, they're going around the pole. Okay, I'm going to show you how to start a dog going around a pole. you arrange it so the dog is on your right side. So when they're halfway across, you put the treat down there. And then you put the dog on your left side. When they're halfway across, put the treat down there. When they're halfway across, so they don't need to know heel. Halfway across, you put the treat behind your knee. He's offering downs, of course, because that's the behavior he's been really working on. And if they're in the wrong place, you just walk. I'm going to put him on my right side when he's halfway across. Okay, he's going to go back on my right side. When he's halfway across, and he's doing downs because that's his new default behavior. When he's halfway across, okay, here we go. Let's put him on the left side. It's the responsibility of the trainer to make sure the dog ends up learning. It's not the responsibility of the dog. Then let's stick a pole in there. You can still move with the pole. And you can get a bigger pole, which is this one. Gonna put him on my right side, he's gonna cross over. Put him on my left side, he will cross over. Put him on my right side, he will cross over. Then you can get a bigger pole. This is overkill, but anyway, here we go. Of course, this is the box he jumps on top of, so he's going to be a little confused. Does he know he's going around a pole? Of course not, but that doesn't matter. Let's see if I can find a bigger pole. I really can't. Not really. Let's put this one further out. But he's going to try to jump on it, because that's what he does on that one. Halfway across, he gets his treat. Halfway across, he gets his treat. Halfway across, I mark him and he gets his treat. Halfway across. So now I need to go and work in many different locations with many different objects standing in for the pole. Does he know what he's doing? Of course not, but he's doing it, and that's my responsibility. Good guy.